And hello to all my Gemini friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for September 2021. Now today they have dialed up a Celtic cross spread for you yet again. They love the Celtic cross for Gemini. I don't know what's up with that, but I have joked with my friend that the time that they don't do a Celtic cross for my Geminis, they're going to be confused. They're going to be like, what is this? We don't know what this is. We just know the Celtic cross. So another Celtic cross for another month for my Gemini friends is what they dialed up. We're also going to conclude at the very end of your reading with an animal totem. It's going to be a one-card spread, so they don't want to talk about the transition. They really want to talk about the characteristics right now that you can put into your September. So very interesting things lie ahead. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring you right in. The decks are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. So go ahead and hit the like button as I do this and build up the energy in here. There we go. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. It basically cuts the decks into 3 different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure as if you were here getting a private reading from me. And then they're ready to run. Celtic cross for Gemini for September. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's behind you. This is what's in front of you. This is above you, something you're aware of. This is below you, something you're not aware of. There's our main cross. Now I'm going to run up the sides with 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 7, 8, 9. I'm going to bend in 10 so we can see it. So there's our core group of the Celtic cross. There's the cross itself. This is the running up the side. I don't know if it has a name or not. I just call it running up the side because that's what it does. All right, so let me check for inverts here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got a good distribution. We're going to run it the way it is. I'm going to get a couple extra cards here, some angel cards, just to describe certain major themes more. Your beginning's a big one. Couple big ones on the side, but not much. Not much in the form of this. So that's basically where we're at. I'm going to bring you back out to the wide angle. We'll get to work. We will waste no time. Let me just organize this for a moment. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I do need to get a card here. And one there. This is just basically telling me if these are people or the energy, and we're talking about the energy. Okay, good to know. Helps me help you be more specific, and then you can implement positive things in your life accordingly. So where do we start? Okay, Gemini, a lot of you, they show your current situation. A lot of you are either alone or spending a lot of time alone right now. Also outdoors. Outdoors comes up. If you're not spending time outdoors, do so. Outdoors is it's come up for another sign this month as well. Very important time to get fresh air, to connect with nature, help relieve stress, kind of breathe, take in that good earth energy, get rid of kind of the stagnant city, concrete energy. Get outdoors, good thing to do. So we start with you being alone, or the Hermit is also a guided card. So you may be being guided or you may be alone, perhaps both. They talk about the Temperance card comes up, which crosses you. That's patience. So things may not be going exactly how you want, but they show that you're being quite patient about it. So it's good for me to see. It shows that like you're not, because if it was the other way around, it would show that you're impatient. They show that this has been a progress for you, or a process for you rather. And you used to rip people's head off when you were impatient, and now I guess you're better about that. So good job, Gemini. Good job to see there. So spending time alone this month is what they have. One way or the other, it relates to the context of pretty much wherever you are in the Gemini spectrum. There is something to do with alone or guidance at the very forefront of your month. So it's very important what they talk about. Also this patience. We want that to continue. Just because you've done a good job with it doesn't mean that you're done. So the universe is going to continue to test you and see, well, are you still patient about this? Well, what about this? And so forth. So that's where we begin your Celtic cross. Now as we move into the past position, They have a message coming in. It's weird because it's past positions, but it's affecting your beginning of the month. They're talking about something that you've held on to for too long. It's usually physical possessions or something that you really need to get rid of and purge. Really need to do that toward the beginning of this month. And that's usually more full moon energy. I'll get more into that later. But for you Geminis, they're specifically saying they want this more toward the beginning of the month. They don't want you to wait. They don't want you to delay. You have a message coming in that may push you in that direction. And this is a past attachment. So this is something that you've been letting go and that you need to do something about because it's going to catch up with you. It's better for you to get out in front of it and purge it rather than it purge you. And that's kind of the concern with this past coming into the present, really. And so the hoarding card, holding on to something for too long, you need to purge it. You need to let it go. It's going to be different things for different Geminis. They're saying for some of you, this is a heart attachment, so this could be a person. But the more common definition is physical things. So just be aware of that. As we move into your future position, they're letting you know that things are going to get complicated, mentally at least, if not physical as well. I have the card of war and chaos. They're letting you know that things are going to get perhaps rough. It's going to be a fight that you're going to have to fight. It's not going to be your whole entire month. It's not like all of September is going to be this war and chaos. It's not. It's usually just, it may be a few days, it may be a week. I don't know. It's going to be different for the different where you fall into the Geminis. But overall, it's a good. It's letting you know to be ready for the fight. It's really to prepare you. They don't want you to be kind of surprised by this. So the challenges that you're going to be facing in September, just kind of be ready to attack them. They're going to come. So really all you can do is just make sure that you're of good sound mind and you are prepared yourself to deal with them. That's really all we can do. So it's not the greatest of news, but it's good to hear at least you know what to do with it. You know what you can do about it now. The above position in the Celtic cross, excuse me, talks about something you're aware of. And this is saying that a lot of you are aware that your life is moving into a better position. It may not feel that way. It's weird. You kind of have this this mental thing going on with a lot of you Geminis where things are moving in the right direction, but you're still just kind of like, about it. Some of you may feel like you're under attack, or some of you just may not be completely happy with the progress or the way that things are going. Something like that comes up here with the Six of Swords. And it's usually more mental than anything else. I do have a lot of swords looking ahead in your spread, so this is going to be a very mental and cerebral month for my Geminis. It can also mean travel. A lot of you may be doing some traveling in September. If that's the case, I'm not telling you anything new. This is not a surprise trip. This is something you're already aware of. It's a less common definition of the card, but I like to try to throw them all out there. Okay, so our bottom position, this is saying something that you're not aware of. And this has come up for another sign too, interestingly enough. They're saying that, things are going to get extremely busy. A lot of busy activity is what's coming in for September. And the key here is balance, especially mental balance. This is a mental spread for my Geminis in September. Finding that mental balance. So do whatever it is for you that you need to do to find that balance so that you don't get caught up and overwhelmed with how busy your month gets. So, take a weekend off. Go on a mini vacation. Do whatever it is for you. Go outdoors where we started the spread. Do something outdoors. Nature. Hiking. Camping. Whatever it is for you that you like to do. Something outdoors. To deal with and counteract this busyness. This busyness comes up. So really, we want you to find peace through the chaos is really what it's all about for September. So now we run up the sides here. For the advice column, they're saying that a lot of you Geminis have, there's a looming decision that has not been made yet. They really want you to nurture yourself in this situation. I don't feel like they're rushing you to make this decision. It's an important decision for a lot of you, and it doesn't really tell me any specifics about it. I think they want to leave it vague for a reason, so that way most people can kind of attach this into their own life and the context of their life. But there is a looming big decision coming. use September to kind of nurture this and to maybe think about it. Get all the pieces, get all the knowledge that you can so that you can make the best decision possible. That all comes up. In the same way that for a lot of you, this may be about your kids and your family. Regardless of if it is or not, they're saying really that they want you to nurture yourself in the situation. The same way that you would nurture a child or your child, really do the same self-care for yourself in September, especially toward this decision that they're talking about. So start considering those kind of things. External influences, a lot of you are getting over kind of a fight with somebody else. Fighting over something is what they show it. It's usually minimal stuff. It's not like huge major themes. It's just equal level fighting over something, and it's usually two people are trying to get the same thing, and it may be two people fighting over the same job. It's two entities that are fighting over one thing. It could be two people fighting over a person. That also comes up and can fall into the environment. So good to see. Anyway, good to see that we're moving out of it instead of into it, and just make sure that your environment doesn't have that in it. Do whatever you have to do to purge your environment from that. Now, as we wrap up with number 9 and 10, I do want to talk about the moon cycles because that directly ties into a lot of what we already talked about. Now, the full moon, well, I'm going to start with the new moon. The new moon comes in on September 6th, on Labor Day. That's a good time to bring something new into your life, something to manifest something new. So, the hoarding and the garbage, the getting the stuff out, whatever it is, that's going to be more full moon energy. But, the new moon, they don't really talk about it directly, so I think they're kind of leaving that more open to you. I don't have any new moon stuff yet that I've come across. So really anything you want to bring into your life at the beginning of the month is a good target date to do that. Adversely, the full moon energy, like I just said, when you want to get something out of your life that doesn't fit anymore, that is like what I talked about, that message. That usually works better toward the end of the month. If it happens to be this hoarding thing they talked about, they want that earlier. So that's more toward the beginning of the month. But everything else you want out of your life, whether it's toxic relationships or just bad ways of thinking or habits you're purging, any of that stuff, much better placed toward the end of the month. Now I put together, I put together a moon cycles cheat sheet that helps you with all this as far as outlining where everything falls. So you can use that to your benefit and implement positive change into your life. When you can see where these things can place, it really helps working with the energies that are already out there. Makes things flow much easier. And you get the moon cycle cheat sheet just from signing up to the newsletter. If you're already signed up to the newsletter, you already have it or are getting it. If you are new, you can sign up for the newsletter at the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com. You enter like your first name, last initial, email address, you send it off. I send you back your moon cycles cheat sheet along with the newsletter. I send out one newsletter a month. It's really simple, not a lot to it. And that way you get access to all the new items, and you also follow the Facebook page as well, because I give away stuff on Facebook now every single month. So definitely take advantage of those two things. As we get into number 9 on your Celtic cross, this is the hopes and fears section. A lot of you are fearing an action in regards to something that is emotional tie-in here. So this is more of a love thing more than likely, or family, or somebody that you love, a close friend of you or something like that. You're really thinking hard about something or somebody. This may actually tie back to the decision as well that we talked about in the slot 7 for the advice column. They're saying that you have taken an inaction with this. For some of you, this could be work, but I feel like it's more love, emotional attachment of some sort. They're saying an inaction in regards to the perception of your emotional well-being. A lot of you are kind of looking up at the stars and kind of contemplating. A lot of deep thought is going on in September. You're really trying to figure some things out, especially emotionally. Which is, because we talked about really the mental in the main core of the spread. Now we're kind of talking about emotional here. So it makes me, that even reinforces even more, makes me feel like we're really talking about your love corner here. So your loved ones, your family, all that stuff can fall under here. So they're talking about an inaction with that, or something that's plaguing your mind in regards to that. So that's obviously not a hope. That falls under fear. So since it's a fear, it's probably also important that I let you know that, this may be an illusionary thing. This may not be real. So don't be consumed by your fear of this. Try to keep this in a positive outlook. Look at the things that you do have versus the things that you don't. It's a perception. And then our final outcome, they're saying that there is a complete changing going on for a lot of you Geminis in the month of September. They bring this up with the Tower card. It's inverted, so it's saying it's not as fast, but you can kind of see it. You can see it coming a little bit, but it still happens really quick. They're talking for a lot of you. This is they left it vague, but the Tower is quick, sudden collapse. 1 minute it's here, the next minute it's gone. So that's the energy of how your month wraps up. They do have angel therapy coming up here. It's basically saying to the things that worry you and the burdens you have, to kind of put it on them. And the angels are going to step up and kind of take it off of you, or at least lighten the load. And you have to let them know to do that. They don't usually step in and intervene without that permission from you. So very important to do. That's probably the main thing of why that pulled up, is to whatever happens fast that you're not ready for in September, just know that you can, put that on them. You don't have to go through it alone. So that's kind of the important thing there. So let's get into your animal totem. Very exciting every time we do an animal totem, because I never know what's coming. And before I do that, let me just quickly remind you, this is a general reading. This is Gemini bubble. We're dealing with a lot of Gemini energy here. If private, personal things are more your style, I do offer personal private readings on my website, scottsagent.com. So animal totem, here we go. Ace of Cups. Let's see what that is. Ace of Cups is going to be a monkey. Monkey. So really it's centered on fun. Really, the animal totem is centered on fun. They want to make sure a lot of you are having enough fun, enough don't get stuck, because the very beginning card was the Hermit, being alone, getting stuck or lost in your own little world. They want you to explore. The monkey is a very adventurous card. So use those characteristics that the monkey has. That's really what they want me to tell you to implement for September. So make sure you're having enough fun. Make sure you're adventuring, going out and trying new things and doing all that kind of stuff. Also be very communal within your tight group. Monkeys are a very close family unit usually. So, good time to spend time with your family and loved ones. Also in September comes up for that. So, a very jubilant animal totem. Not a whole lot to say about it, but there's a few pieces in there that I think will help a lot of people, because sometimes we get a little too serious in life, and the monkey is a reminder to be playful. So be a little playful in your September, and whatever that means to you. Definitely want to attack it that way. So that's going to wrap up our Celtic cross for September. We have done the animal totem with the monkey, and just want to thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you have not, and to like the post. And that wraps up September. I'll see you all in October.